Fort Worth, Texas's school district is now investigating a substitute teacher who allegedly encouraged ICE to come and deport a bunch of the students at the school that he teaches at. This is Northside High School, and he posted on Twitter, "Y'all should come to Fort Worth, Texas to Northside High School." This is to ICE. "I have many students who don't even speak English, and they are in 10th and 11th grade. They have to communicate through their iPhone translator with me. The US education department should totally overhaul our school system in Texas too." Now we're gonna return to the stuff about ICE in a second. The second part I think is funny because he reads like a Trumper, but does he not know that Trump wants to kill the Department of Education? And also I love that, like, so if the school system in Texas is such a failure, like, maybe blame the Republicans who control the state and have for decades. Maybe look inward a little bit to, hey, Greg Abbott, perhaps you could have some expectations for. But anyway, there's no time for that. We wanna see ICE busting down the door, men in black streaming through, locking up people. And so a lot of people are worried about that. Now the account has gone private, but screenshots of the posts are still going around. And the school district put out a statement saying, "We take this matter very seriously and are conducting a thorough investigation to understand the circumstances and ensure appropriate actions are taken. As per district protocol, the employee will not be on campus during the investigation." And so the reason that this scares a lot of people is because it's 100% plausible. They can do that. They can go into those schools. Last week, the Homeland Security Department issued a directive rescinding previous restrictions on ICE and border protection to stop them from operating in sensitive areas like churches, schools, and hospitals. The crazy lib theory being that we don't want people to be terrified constantly when going to those places. This is like throwback belief that you should be able to like worship the way you want and get medical care. We're done with that. We're moving on, and now you're gonna get deported if you go to those places. And the thing about it is, I have people in my extended family who teach in Texas. They've gotten notification to be prepared for raids in their elementary schools that they teach in. And the thing about it, JR, and I'm gonna throw to you. So I think people are rightly disgusted by this one individual being like, "Hey, come here, screw these kids that I'm supposed to be teaching." But the thing about it is they can do that, they're gonna do that, and lots of Americans want that. I mean, that's presumably what some of them voted for. So like, we should be disgusted by this one individual, but I think we should be generally disgusted, maybe even more. But you have a young child, what do you think about this? Oh, JR, you've started yourself off in only the most classic way.
No way. I was just talking to you off camera. This is easy. It happened so smoothly that way. Anyways, thank you guys. I'm back. So this is the most unexpected thing, not unexpected thing that we could ever see happening. This is what they said they were gonna do. Now, whenever there was some pushback and they were concerned that maybe some folks in the country may not vote for them based off of this sweeping plan to go after elementary age school children, after they talked about how badly folks can be treated in the country, they're going after elementary age school children. So what do they do once they run up into an elementary school and take a 7-year-old out of the classroom? Do they go back and talk to their parents? Do they just put them in some kind of a holding cell? This is turning into exactly what it is that we were seeing. Now, I'm sure there's many folks, as you said, they probably did vote for this and they're rubbing their hands together and having an evil laugh, enjoying it all, because damn those lesser human beings that are here. It's a repeat of what we've done in history. We can do whatever we want to folks that we consider lesser because they've been indoctrinated for so long that these folks are lesser. They're not real people. They're really not Americans. So we can do whatever it is we want to them. Children be damned. Look at the devastation and genocide going on in Gaza that we've then watched with our own eyes, and more people don't give a damn about it. Seeing people literally dismantled as an occupying force goes through and does whatever it is that they want. This becomes the normalcy. This is why it's important to point out before it gets to these points. Yes, prison camps will begin to be built for folks that they can't ship out to other countries, wherever it is that they determine that they need to go. But now we're talking children and families. Remember they were talking to Tom Homan, the new border czar, about separating families? This was his idea in the first administration. These are things that he wanted to carry out. The difference between the first administration that Trump had and this one is that the guardrails are gone. I know we've said it a million times, but these are some of the guardrails. And when you don't see them, things like this happen. And the bad part It's maybe some of the response that's gonna happen from folks that begin to feel like this oppressive militaristic approach to deportations is gonna get pretty violent.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that it could. I feel terrible for so many kids who are gonna be terrified, their parents. I mean, I guess the natural consequence of this is you don't send your kids to school if you're worried. And that's also what they intend. They don't want these kids to get educated. I mean, generally they don't want any kids to get educated, but this is a good way to knock out maybe a few million in one fell swoop. And when I think about the many issues that we have in schools across America and what more we should be doing as a country, as states, as a society to make sure that our kids are educated as much as possible, this is the literal last thing that we need. But we're doing it, and importantly, we're gonna spend billions and billions and tens and hundreds of billions of dollars doing it. And presumably, there's nothing better we could spend that money on. I defy any one of you out there to think of a single goddamn thing that we would be better served spending a couple $100 billion on than rounding up goddamn kids who are the future of our freaking country. We'll talk maybe tomorrow. There's this study. So they estimated if he's successful in all this and you project it out, I don't know if it's 10, 15 years or something, our population will literally decrease as a country. Because the same people who are telling you that you need to have kids even though you can't afford it or whatever, are following policies that will cut off the main thing driving an expansion of the US population. They're gonna cut it off. We are spending out the A to shoot ourselves in the foot over and over. We've got an AR-15, we've modded it to be fully auto, we pointed it at our feet and we're just holding down the trigger. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.